Welcome everyone. Today you will watch the first true video of this channel. So, I said in the introduction that it was going to be about the 25 argumentative mode. But when I wrote the script, I realized it was way too long for one video, so I decided to divide it into 3 parts. Today we will talk about the first part, which focuses on the logical mistakes. So Bill, what is a logical mistakes? Well, a logical mistakes is a reasoning which seems correct but who can actually lead to conclude absolutely everything and anything. A warning, even with a bad reasoning, you can have a right conclusion because, as I said before, you can conclude about everything and anything. So my advice, if you hear or read reasoning that you think is false, or stop reading and listening, but most importantly of all, you should not hear or listen to the conclusion, because even if the reasoning is false, it doesn't prove that the conclusion is false. So now, let's see a little example. If you don't do your homework, you will fail the class. If you fail the class, you will not graduate from school. Don't graduate from school, you cannot go to college. If you cannot go to college, you cannot have a good job. If you cannot have a good job, you cannot have money. If you don't have money, then you're going to end up poor and alone. You just heard a slippery slope. Now that you understand what is a logical mistakes, let's take a look at the first element of the list, the improper generalization. So, the idea is you're going to make a generalization, but with way too few elements for it to be relevant. Let's see a few examples. My 2 boyfriends cheated on me, so every man cheats on his girlfriend. Second, I ate chocolate ice cream and vanilla ice cream, and I didn't like either of them, so I don't like ice cream. Third example. The 2 top box office movies are action movies. So every top box office movie is an action movie. Let's move on to the second logical mistakes. So this one is named the Pavlovian reasoning. The idea is to do kind of a reverse way of thinking, and you go from the consequence and you suppose a cause, but you exclude every single other one. Let's see a few examples. The road is wet. That means that it has been raining between 6 and 7 p.m. yesterday evening. Well, this one is obviously wrong, but even if the hypothesis can be valid, nothing proves it. Second one. I don't feel good. That must be because of the fish I ate at lunch. Or maybe the French fries. Who knows? Third one. Laws of physics are too perfect. This is a proof that there are divine forces. Why? The idea here is not to prove not that divinities exist. It's just to tell you to be careful around this kind of reasoning. Let's do a bit of Latin with the Nonsequitur, which doesn't follow premises. A premises in the logical word is a supposition. So in this one we are going to suppose a reciprocity which isn't actually there. So if A is true, then B is true. So we have A, which implies B. You feel like you're starting to have a bit of a headache. Don't worry, I'm going to illustrate with an example and everything will be way easier to understand. Every man is mortal. I am a man, thus I am mortal. We have A, I'm a man, and B, I'm mortal, and A implies B. Every man is mortal. But we don't have the reciprocity, which is B implies A, or every mortal is a man. So, let's see a few other examples. My dogs always bark when someone passes in front of my house. My dog just barked. That means that someone just passed in front of my house. Well, no, it just happened to saw a cat. Second, every every student who takes German in middle school is a good student. I took Spanish. That means that I am not a good student. Well, no, nothing to say that only people who took German are good students. Every person in jail, is a criminal. I am not in jail, thus I am not a criminal. Well, no, you simply didn't get caught yet. For the next one, I will do my mea culpa, because I probably used it a lot. I'm talking about the suspicious analogy. Because I like to do a lot of comparison, I probably did it way more time than I would have liked to. Anyway, the idea is to compare two things which seem similar but who actually aren't. Well, as usual, let's take a few examples. Carnivore needs to eat meat to survive, so humans needs to eat meat to survive. Well, actually, humans are omnivores, which means they don't need to eat meat to survive. Obamacare is communism, while here you're comparing a socialist law with a socialist totalitarian government, which are two completely different things. The third one, Hitler was a vegetarian and you're vegetarian, so you're Nazi. Well, no, it takes way more than being a vegetarian to be Nazi. Actually, there is not even any link between the both of them. Second to last, a call to ignorance. This is probably my favorite one of the list because I think I heard this one nearly every single day. So the idea is this one. You cannot prove that it is true, thus it is wrong. Or you cannot prove that it is wrong, thus it is true. Well, let's take a few examples. You cannot prove that the vaccine will not kill you in 10, 20, 30, 40 or 50 years. Thus, the vaccine will kill you in 10, 20, 30, 40 or 50 years. Every resemblance to fact or event is pure coincidence. Well, second one. You cannot prove that the resurrection stone does not exist. Thus, the resurrection stone does exist. Well, in Harry Potter, it does exist. But still, the reasoning is completely wrong. But as I told you at the beginning, wrong reasoning doesn't prove that the conclusion is wrong. Third example, you cannot prove that I have not been replaced by a synth. First, I am a synth. For those who didn't get it, well, there is one way to verify it, but you won't live through it. So, let's do a bit more Latin with the post hoc ergo propter hoc. What is it? Let's do a bit more Latin with the post hoc ergo propter hoc. Well, the actual effect is a way easier name to remember. So the idea here is you're going to confuse a cause, a consequence, and simply something which happens after. Well, let's take an example to make it easier. I clapped my hand and a bird fell from the sky. It fell from the sky because I clapped my hand. Well, no, it just happened to take a bullet. Second one, I took a pill and my headache is gone. Well, doesn't prove anything. This is also why when we test any drugs, we give some people a true drug and some people nothing, or nothing who has an effect on them, to avoid the placebo effect. Last example of this video, I went out and then the sky became clear. Well, no, the cloud didn't move for your little pretty face. And that's it for this video. Let's recap everything we saw. So, first one, we got the improper generalization. Second, we got the Panglossian reasoning. Third, we got the non-sequitur, or the one who doesn't follow premises. Fourth, we got the specious analogy. Fifth, we got the call to ignorance. And last, we got the post hoc ergo propter hoc, or the Achu effect. Well, I'm going to give you a bit of homework for the next video. I'm going to upload a comment with sentences which contain logical mistakes, and your goal is to find all of them. People who manage to will have a shout out in the next video. Well, goodbye everyone, and have a nice day.